Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session on Python programming. And what we are discussing today is a mechanism through which we plan to decompose the code. So there was an example that was given, we had solved earlier. And I had asked you to actually decompose that code further. The focus was to apply the concept of functional decomposition to improve the design of your application. So as expected, Ashish has done it. So let's open up his implementation and look at this example. The problem statement was already there. The problem statement was something like this. A student appears for at least 5 subjects in each semester. Marks in every subject are out of 100. We are supposed to accept the marks of varying number of students in 2 semesters. And then we are supposed to display the percentile marks of all the students in both the semesters. Now, this example we had solved earlier. So let's have a look at the design of the program that we had solved earlier. So this is how we had implemented that particular code. We had discussed the implementation of the same earlier. So we had some variables that we had defined. We asked the user to enter the number of students, check whether the input is right or not. There is a validation. If the input is right, then we proceeded further. And as many number of students are there, that many number of times this loop runs. For every student, we are checking whether the marks that he has accepted, number of students we are accepting, and then the marks that are being accepted, we are storing inside the list. Before that, we have asked how many subjects is the student appearing for, and so on. This is how we had solved that example. But then there are a lot of repetition. This particular code that we had done for subject 1, similarly, we did the same thing for subject semester 2 as well. We actually number of subjects, SEM 1, SEM 2, and somewhere we did the validation for, we accepted details for both the semesters. Yes. So first was subject, where was the 2 semesters? Subject counter we had taken. Student, this was for the number of students. This was for number of subjects. And how many subjects the student appear in semester 1 is what we are asked. Similarly, there is a question for how many subjects the student is appearing for semester 2. Ashish, कहाँ है semester 2 का?
सर हमने सेम 1 सेम 2 का कोई काउंटर वगैरह नहीं दिया. एक बार सेम 1 का लिखा, सेम हमने सेम 2 का लिखा.
सेम करना कहा था क्या आपको?
हाँ,
सेम 2 के लिए करने के लिए कहा था या इसको?
नहीं है नीचे है ना.
कहाँ है?
ये क्या है सर? स्टूडेंट काउंट के ऊपर.
Here, correct? ये ना?
Yes,
this was for SEM 2. So this was for SEM 1 and SEM 1 कहाँ गया फिर?
नीचे सब्जेक्ट काउंट के बाद.
अच्छा. This is for SEM 1.
Yes.
And this is for SEM 2.
बाद.
Okay, and that was a too big a code that we had written. So we had to improve on the design of this particular code. So let's see as to how Ashish has done it, because he's the one to submit. So let's explore the submission. I'll save this program. Student data 1 is the name that he has given. So the file has got saved. I'll save this file as student data 2. And let's see his implementation, or we'll, as we proceed further, we'll make changes in that code if wherever we feel it is appropriate to make changes. But we need to have a justification why are we doing that. Now, he has one subject called as function called as get total number of students. That is going to accept return integer. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about the documentation. When we design a function, say there is a function. Let's talk about a function called as length. Correct. So the moment I say length, it is there is a function called as length and something. But if you forget how to use this function length, then what would you do about it? So in that case, if I say length dot doc, so it will give documentation of that function, returns the number of items in a container. So that is the case with all the functions. Suppose you will call the function sum and say dot dunder dunder doc dunder dunder. So it is giving you all the details about that particular function. The best way to do that is by saying print sum dot dunder dunder doc dunder dunder. If you do that, it gives you formatted fashion what that particular function does. So likewise, if you have designed this function, we would also want this to work with our function. Now, if that was to be done, we have to add something called as documentation comments with the function. And that is something that I'll discuss later. But keep in mind, there is a concept called as documentation comment. And it's actually very easy to add a documentation comment to a function. Okay, we just have to put triple quotes over here, and it says generate doc string. If I generate doc string, whatever I write over here, documentation. Okay, whatever we write over here becomes the documentation for that particular function. You want to see a glimpse of it. Suppose if we run this function and keep it ready, suppose that function is ready. The name of the function is get total number of students. So this is the function. Let's see if that works for our function now. Print the function dot dunder dunder dot dunder dunder, and I close it. You get whatever information that you have typed. So it was that simple to add information on the function. So when you're designing a function has an objective. You have something in your mind. How am I going to understand what is the purpose of the function that you have written? So always add documentation comment to that particular function. Specify what is going to return. So it's going to return integer. What is that integer representing? Number of students in the class. Returns number of students in the class. Okay. Accepts and integer representing so what do you like to write? So suppose I don't want to say return, I just want to say returns only that much, and because returns integer, which is number of students in the class. So if you feel that that much information is good enough, you could just add that much information, not necessarily that you have to add anything more. So we have designed a documentation comment. That's the first thing that you have seen. How did we do that? Just 3 quotes and end 3 quotes just after the function. That becomes the function documentation. So we have added a function documentation. Now that this function documentation has been added, let's check it out. Has it really got added? So here I run that particular function again, and I say underscore doc. It says returns integer, which is nothing but number of students in the class. So that becomes interesting. And how easy it is. We just have to say number of students dot doc documentation comment. Now let's look at this function whether it is correct or not. Enter the number of students. Okay. If not student is digit, if it is not digit, or int of students less than 0, enter only positive integer, and you're saying continue. Continue to transfer the control back to the loop. And okay, continue to consider back to the loop. If the number of students are correct, then you're going to say break. Okay. And when you say break, you're going to return. And what you're going to return? Oh, you could say break, or here you could say return. That is also an option that is available. Reduce the number of lines. You could just say return from here. So return enable transfer the control back to the calling routine. So we are saying enter the number of students. If number of student total student is digit, any digits hai kya, or if it is not digit, or int of students less than 0, then you're printing an error message and we're saying continue. Continue will take you back and force you to enter the number of students again. Okay, you're forcing to enter the number of students again. Now, when you're using and or, then I would rather use brackets because that creates confusion. What is actually the one that is being done for or? So ye ek hai or ye ek hai. That is just to avoid confusion. What are you doing? I'm not much in favor of using or and. दोनों के मैं favor में नहीं हूँ. अगर use कर ही रहे हो और इतना complex statement है, तो I'd rather put brackets. So if not, number of students are digit or int of students less than 0 है, तो enter positive integer और continue करते आप पीछे जाओगे. Else break करोगे. So if the input is right, you will just break. आई डोंट इवन हैव टू से एल्स, चलो ये एल्स भी हटा देते हैं, देखो ये नहीं काम करेगा क्या? Look at that. So no else, no break, nothing. ब्रेक की जरूरत है, बिकॉज अगर यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करोगे तो लूप में से बाहर कैसे आओगे? इट्स इनफाइनाइट लूप दैट यू यूज्ड, सो दिस इज द चॉइस दैट वी हैड। ये जो हमने ब्रेक की जगह एल्स डाला था, दैट्स द ओनली चॉइस दैट वी हैव। तो ये यही चॉइस है आपके पास, और कुछ नहीं है, बिकॉज अदरवाइज द लूप विल नॉट गेट टर्मिनेटेड। तो ये है, दिस इज हाउ यू कुड डिजाइन द फंक्शन। I don't have much suggestions, any more suggestions of this. It looks perfect. So that's a good function. Now you have defined these variables, correct? Now look at this, Ashish. You have defined it over here and you have probably used in these functions. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now suppose tomorrow in some other application, you import only this particular function. Then will this be available?
No.
No. So if you want to really make your code reusable, whatever are the things inside that function should be, it should be a working unit, independent of anything else that's happening in the program. कल हमने कहा था there should not be functional dependency. There should not be this kind of dependencies also here. ये dependency हो गया ना? Unless I do not import those 4 constants, my function will not even work if I import it other places.
Yes.
Okay, so no dependencies allowed. So we are not going to have any dependencies on the function. Instead, it may look a bit lengthy, but we'll define those constants inside the function itself. Or otherwise, if they are required very often, you could define a function, call that function inside it, just to initialize the constants. That's one thing that you could do. Or there is another choice design style that you have. There are some elements, because for you to use this function in some other application, you have to import it. So there are mechanisms in import where while you import some module, certain things will automatically get imported. Okay, so you will have to design a module in such a fashion that when you import any function from this particular module, in the file that you have created, student data to is your file, every file in Python is a module. Module is collection of related functions and data that you would like to reuse. So if the module is collection of related data or functions that we would like to reuse, you could design a module later in such a way that if I want to import that particular module, certain elements of that module will by default get loaded. So like this constant elements that we had, we'll have to make sure design the module specifically in such a fashion, but till the time I do not teach you how to design such modules, define it inside the function. But later I'll teach you technique where you import a module and automatically certain things will get imported. So that will solve your problem if some automatic import happens whenever a particular module has been imported. So that change in design we'll have to bring about. So meanwhile, I'll introduce that inside the code itself. I'll take it inside the code. Now, what is this function saying? It says get marks of sem2 and then get marks of sem1 भी लिखा है क्या? Ashish, now you tell me, if I take this function and if I take this function, दोनों में कहाँ डिफरेंस है मुझे बताइए। अभी तो मैंने अभी देखा आपका कोड, बट एक सेकंड में पूछ रहा हूँ मैं आपको, नाम से मुझे पता चला कुछ गलती हो रही है। इन दो फंक्शंस में कहाँ चेंजेस है मुझे बताइए। एक स्टेटमेंट में चेंज है, ये मैसेज में।
Yes.
और कहाँ चेंज है? अच्छा, ये गेट सब्जेक्ट लिया मैंने, सब्जेक्ट आ गया आपका। हाँ, गेट मार्क्स ऑफ sem1 एंड ये दो फंक्शंस में कहाँ चेंजेस है?
फिर सिर्फ अलग लिस्ट में वो स्टोर हो रहा है।
बस इतना ही चेंज है ना?
हाँ।
तो क्यों वो लिस्ट वगैरह कुछ है वही रिटर्न कर लेते? ये रिपीटेशन है, और इतना बड़ा रिपीटेशन तो क्राइम है। दिस कोड आई सी, एक्सेप्ट अगर मैंने अभी ये यहाँ रखा था इसलिए वैसे लग रहा है, तो ये भी यहाँ से हटा दूं जैसे आपने लिखा था, तो मेरे लिए तो दोनों भी एक जैसे ही है। आई हैव टू स्ट्रगल टू फाइंड आउट द डिफरेंस, ढूंढना होगा कहाँ है डिफरेंस। ये पहले अनइंडेंट कर लेते हैं। बताओ तो डिफरेंस कहाँ आ रहा है इस कोड में, बताइए
No,
कहाँ डिफरेंस आ रहा है। यहाँ भी स्टूडेंट डिटेल रिटर्न कर रहे हैं, यहाँ भी स्टूडेंट डिटेल रिटर्न कर रहे हैं। सब्जेक्ट काउंटर 1, सब्जेक्ट काउंटर 1, नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट, सब कुछ तो एक जैसा है, डिफरेंस कहाँ है।
नहीं है डिफरेंस।
तो दो फंक्शंस के पीछे ओके। आपने कोड तो लिखा सही, बट ये भूल गए, तो ये गेट मार्क्स इन अ पर्टिकुलर सेमेस्टर, तो मैं है ना डायरेक्टली इसे डिलीट कर देता हूँ विदाउट इवन लुकिंग एट इट, और इसे भी डिलीट कर देता हूँ। और गेट नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स इन सेम 1 एंड गेट नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स इन सेम 2, ये भी शायद एक जैसे ही है,
यस सर।
तो हम इसे भी डिलीट कर देते हैं, पूरा फंक्शन ही डिलीट कर देते हैं। प्रिंट डेटा सही है, अब काम करते हैं इन पे। अब थोड़ा सा डिजाइन में चेंज करना होगा। वी हैव सब्सटेंशियली रिड्यूस्ड द साइज ऑफ द प्रोग्राम। अब हमें एक जेनरिक फंक्शन चाहिए। वी वांट दिस फंक्शन टू बी जेनरिक सो दैट इट विल एक्सेप्ट मार्क्स इन नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स इन एनी सेमेस्टर, गेट नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स। तो इन सेमेस्टर क्यों गेट नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स ये रख देते हैं। लेट्स कीप अ नेम एज गेट नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स। Now in get number of subject, again using while true, input how many subjects the student plan to appear in the semester, in this semester कह सकते हैं। This semester, if not number of subject digit, error specify number of subjects only in digits only, please enter details of the students again. Okay, continue कहा। else, अब मुझे else में क्या करूँ, नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट सही है तो else क्यों चाहिए, यहाँ से तो कंटिन्यू करने वाले हो। I don't need else. If I don't continue, I'll come here. Why do I need to say else? If I don't continue, I'm going to come there. Correct? तो मुझे else की जरूरत तो नहीं लग रही है, फिर भी देख लेते हैं ये आगे। I don't feel there is else because once you say continue, anyway it's not going to execute these statements. And then you say int number of subjects and number of subjects less than minimum number of subjects. तो आपके पास कोई कांस्टेंट है minimum number of subject, ये आपका कांस्टेंट है, तो I'll rather define it over here. I don't need this. I need this. Minimum number subject from typing import final. इतना मेहनत लिया, finally you have defined, or that you have defined it in uppercase. Who will write final? After all these efforts, I wonder how did you forget that? So हमने लिखा number of students while true, number of okay, you have accepted this. If not, number of subject is digit. Error specify number of subject. Continue to transfer the control back. So there was no need for us to write else. If the input that you accept is correct, then we convert it into an integer and we store into this particular variable. And if it is less than minimum number of subjects, then we'll print an error. Minimum number of subject is 5. Okay, here appears minimum for 5 subjects. Was that the question?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yes. So error minimum number of subject is 5. Please enter details of the students again and then continue. Okay, then why do I need this else? I'll rather say break. If both the conditions are not satisfied, then I'll say break. Why do I need to say break? I'll just say return. And I'm saying return inside the loop itself, I'm writing. So when I say return, the loop will say return, that means it will return from the function itself, it will transfer the control back. So I think probably this is what we'll have to do. Let us see whether we have done the validations right. A digits hai ke check kar liya. Then you are checking whether the integer is right. In digits only, minimum number of subjects are so and so. Continue. Okay, I think this will work out. This will work out. So we have get number of students. We are importing final, and first we accept the number of subjects. We check whether it's digits. If it is not digit, we generate an error. If it is less than minimum number of subjects, then we generate an error. and then we return number of subject. And note, we have written this particular statement inside the loop itself. Inside the loop itself. So from within the loop, we're returning the value. So this function is done. And we have a name of function as get number of subjects. So for whichever semester it may be, you could change your message in the application. This is where you design your application. Okay, now let's focus on the get subjects we have done. Get. Now get marks. Let's focus on this get marks. Get marks, or I'll say get number of subjects. Okay, but we are going to accept marks. And okay, so I'll just say accept marks. Accept marks. Now the question over here is, this function will have to be designed accept same marks. I'll say accept same marks. Now it would be appropriate, like what we had written over here, this function was not taking any parameter, correct? Whereas this function is expecting some parameters. First is number of subjects, and then student details. That's a dictionary that you are supposed to pass. Not a very good idea. It could return a dictionary. Why do you need to pass a dictionary? We'll have to redesign this. We say accept same marks, correct? So first we should know how many subjects the student is appearing for. So let's put a documentation comment over here so that we'll decide what are things we need to pass over here. So we are generating documentation. So there are two parameters that we are passing. Look at this, so beautiful it is. Everything has been done automatically for you. Parameters, first number of subjects. Okay, your variable name itself is meaningful. There is not. This is the beauty of giving proper names. The documentation, the guidelines say your program should be self-documenting. So the name of the variable that you used over here is self-documenting. Now, when you say number of subjects as a name of the variable, it itself becomes very clear as to what we are talking about. Had you only said NO subjects, then there is a confusion. What subjects are we talking about? Now, wherever possible, create variable names, function names, which are self-documenting. This was a very good example of self-documentation. So then one has to think over in the description, what description I'm going to give to this particular thing. The only thing is it's about a semester, so I'll just add a bit of description, but otherwise it was a self-documenting comment information, and that's how it should be. Just for sake of writing, I'll write something. I'll say now the student detail. Here we'll have to think over. I don't think we need to pass a dictionary to it. It could return a dictionary. So I think that was good enough. We don't have to really pass a dictionary. It will return the subjects, and that could become a dictionary if needed. So let's not pass a dictionary. Let's pass only one argument, number of subjects. Oh, let's pass, if required, the semester number. So while we are displaying the message, enter marks in semester number, something there, but that an application can do. The application can print the message earlier. Please enter marks in, accepting marks in semester number so and so. In the application, we can do that. Here it is just whatever is the subject, it will just accept semester marks. We just have to pass the number of subjects. So I think that one parameter is good enough. What is going to return? A dictionary. What is that dictionary going to store? Now there is an issue. Have you thought about dictionary of dictionary? Is that what you are planning to use?
Again, sir?
Data structure that you are planning to use is dictionary of dictionary or dictionary and the list. What are you planning to use? What combination?
डिक्शनरी के अंदर डिक्शनरी.
Okay, so if that is what you have to use, I'd rather pass semester number. So I'll say semester number colon int. Now when I do that, here in the parameter, kahan gaya parameter mein, I have this semester number which is of type integer. Watch it. I'm going to do it, and I create a dictionary correctly out of it. I will show you how. So ये semester number है. That. So what we'll do is we'll change the order of parameters. First we'll pass the semester number, and second we'll pass the number of subjects, and so that will make it more logical. First we'll tell which semester, and then we'll say how many subjects. So the first thing will be semester number. Semester number, which is of type int, and we will write some message. Semester NO is the semester number. क्या बोले? What should we say? The number of subjects the student appears in that particular semester. That's okay. The semester number. The semester number, our semester number the student is appearing for. Semester number, the student is appearing for. Here again. And returns a dictionary. Now, what is the dictionary is going to return? Okay, dictionary of the semester number and the marks of the student. So the dictionary containing the semester number and list of the marks, correct? So dictionary returns a
Students
dictionary.
नाव नाही लागणार का मग आयडेंटिफाय
Pardon?
स्टुडंटचं नाव
Student name was to be stored. That was Ashish. Student name किया तुमने कोई provision नहीं किया?
आयडेंटिफाय कसं होणार
No. I am asking Ashish. Did he make the provision?
यस सर, वो पहले ही इसमें हो गया था जब नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट का किया ना हमने.
Where?
आ गया
Here?
सर.
You
अभी
doing?
हमने नहीं. हाँ, इधर ही है. और वो नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स में फंक्शन में वो स्टोर हो रहा है.
And that dictionary you are passing. That's the reason you have passed
Yes.
the dictionary.
Yes.
Okay. Don't have to do that. That's the reason you are passing dictionary, correct? Okay. I want a reusable function, so don't worry. Okay. If Monica is disturbed, don't have to worry. We'll redesign this function. The number of comments that we are adding may look like you're increasing the size of the program, but now somebody else who looks at your code should be in a position to understand what is it doing. Huh? So this documentation is necessary. Monica, that problem will take care. See how. Returns yesterday what did I, that image that I put, we write a code, we test a code, that means we go through the code and we refactor. This is a continuous process. Probably the code of design code that we'll come up with. Yesterday what did we do? We designed a code, and then as we went ahead discussing, did we not revise it multiple times? So there is a possibility that we may need to be revising this code multiple times. Pehle revision mein you had done some bigger repetition that we have eliminated. Now when we are interactively writing this code, possibility is there. Then when we look at the final design, we'll realize that there again is some mistake. So we'll again revise. In the first pass, there is very little possibility that we'll get the best design. Okay, so returns a dictionary containing the semester number as key and subject marks containing dictionary containing subject marks as values. So we are very clear what we are going to do now. So this documentation also serves as the requirements. Shantanu may talk about it if he has to share. When you're given a task, you'll be first very clearly told what is the requirement. Then what you do will be all the actions that you perform will be to fulfill that particular requirement. Is that how, Shantanu, it is?
Yes, sir. Actually, so today also I got a requirement.
Uh,
Like there is a DAG, and I have to implement two functions. So the requirement was like it has to be done in the DAG which in the present DAG, but the functionality was not available in that.
correct.
So I
But
had to just go
do you
back
have
to the previous
do you
one.
have any opportunity to change the requirement?
Sorry?
Do you have a liberty to change the requirement?
No, we don't have the opportunity to change the
Correct. You
requirement,
don't have
but
the
we can
liberty to do
change
that.
the functionality and make it
Implementation we
good.
can change, correct? Functionality is implementation, way you do it.
Yeah, implementation, right.
Correct? Implementation you can change, but requirement it is freezed. Yes or no? So you as a developer have to just fulfill that requirement that has been given.
Yes.
Yes or no,
That's,
Shantanu?
yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, and two different developers may fulfill it in two different styles,
Right.
but it has to satisfy. And then you may be having some test suite also. You should pass through all the test suite as well.
Yes.
And do you pass your code through some test suites?
Sorry.
Do you have any test suite through which you pass the code? To check
Uh,
whether-
no, we don't have.
Okay, but otherwise that's a common requirement.
Mhm.
So so here we are specifying what does this function take, what does it return, then write your logic to fulfill that particular requirement. That's how we are now specifying. So we're saying it should return a dictionary containing semester number as a key and subject marks as values. Okay, so subject marks, a list of subject marks as value and a list of subject marks as value. So very clearly we have said what we really gonna do. So you now take subject number is equal subject count is equal to 1, in subject counter less than equal to number of subjects. Number of subject is something that you have passed, and enter the marks in subject number, str of subject counter, okay, str of subject counter. अरे you know f strings now, f string आपको आते हैं तो क्यों टेंशन ले रहे हो? यहाँ भी f string यूज करके देखो does it work or not. So I'll say enter the marks in subject number so and so, और यहाँ directly curly braces डालूंगा. We are trying to use string literal inside over here. Let's see whether it works. It works. Why worry? So you said enter the marks in subject number, subject counter. Subject number, rather we should put a colon over here. Subject number 1, essay. And if marks is digit, okay. If not digit, you generate error and you're going to say continue. Okay. If the marks are right, then you're going to convert them into an integer. Okay.
Sir, can we put an runtime exception here?
You could do that, but what would happen is if I put runtime exception at this place, then the program will halt. You are not going to give a chance always. You are not going to give a chance for a user to recover from that situation and continue. So as a designer of your application, first think about, is it possible for me to design a code such a fashion that if the operator goes wrong, we give him an opportunity to recover from that particular situation rather than just telling, "Arey, because gade ho kya," means kind of thing that means terminating the program. Instead of doing that, think about, if it is possible, always give an opportunity to the user to recover from that situation.
Okay.
So if you raise runtime error here, you will not give an opportunity for him to recover from the situation. That means the control will go back to your calling routine. And then you just can tell him, you did a mistake, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's give and what you said we could do it, but for that I need to teach you exception handling properly because we have learned how to raise an exception, huh? But we have not learned how to handle that situation.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So even
So try
today,
and catch block.
here we say instead of try catch block, what we say here also we have try, but here we have to throw instead of throw we say raise.
Raise.
That's the small difference. So unless we do not learn that technique, we cannot incorporate. Look at this now. Before we knew concept of function, we had written the same code using this type. Was that wrong?
No.
No, it was not wrong, but the design was not good. कल हमने वो एक नोट मैंने WhatsApp पे डाला था, अगर आपने वो पढ़ा है तो objective of refactoring is to improve the code's readability, the design. Now, what all improvements can you bring about in your code? Only based on the techniques that you have learned, na?
Right.
So what would happen this is over here, we will constantly keep on improving our code, design of your code, as we learn newer and newer techniques. So right now we are designing this code, but just because we learned functions, so we are now incorporating features of functions to improve the design of this code. Tomorrow, later we learn exception handling. We'll take the same example. We'll remind me if possible, and then we'll incorporate the exception handling there. Then later when we learn object-oriented programming, then we'll redesign the same code for object-oriented programming. So you can see a transition as to how the quality of the code improves as we learn new tools and techniques.
Right.
Okay, मगर आप लोगों का काम है याद दिलाना, exception handling के समय दोबारा याद दिलाइए, sir, can we work on this code? जब आपने raise कहा था, so if I raise an exception, how can I still give a chance for the program to recover from that situation? For that, your application should change. Function will remain the same. Instead of continue, I'll say raise, but the caller of that particular function will have to take a provision to give a user a chance to recover.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll redesign this code again after we learn exception handling. Meanwhile, since we do not know exception handling completely, so we'll accept continue. यही से continue करने का chance दे दिया. End marks, अगर if it is greater than max score. Now, what is max score? That's a constant that is defining. So if you're going to define that constant, let's put it over here inside this function. Because max score is required by this. That's 100, he says. Max score is 100. Max score is 100. If marks are greater than 100, is greater than max. Okay, जो सीखा है. Can you all see?
Yes.
ये दिखाई दे रहा है आपको कोड?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes,
मुझे आप लोग क्यों नहीं दिखाई दे रहे? You can see the code right now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
मुझे तो मैं खुद भी नहीं दिखाई दे रहा, आप भी नहीं दिखाई दे रहे, क्या बात है?
Sir, your both the screen are visible.
Both means?
आप तो दिख रहे हैं हम लोगों को.
मुझे क्यों नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है?
Only visible, and we are able to view your video also.
I can only hear you.
Sir, altogether.
आगे कुछ और हुआ था. I think ये व्यू में कुछ तो इश्यू था. व्यू फुल स्क्रीन, अच्छा ये फुल स्क्रीन मोड में चला जाता. F11 गलती से प्रेस हुआ था. Okay. Now, so we take this max score here as 100, and we are checking greater है, so we are generating an error message again. Since we had learned formatted string, Ashish, formatted string use करना चाहिए था. Error maximum score or in any subject is substitution, placeholder. So what you have learned should be reflected in your code. So your code should be at least as good as what you have learned, and then continue. And then now the question is like, we are going to pass the semester number here, correct? Semester number. So here we have a chance now. Student detail name. Now we don't have the name, correct? Right now we are going to return a dictionary. So what we'll do is we'll create a dictionary. No, we haven't yet created a dictionary. Let's create an empty dictionary first. Here you go. And I'll call this as not student details because it is not storing student details. It is storing semester marks. Sem marks, that's a dictionary. And it's a dictionary that we have. Sem marks is a dictionary. Now in this dictionary, we have a key. So what is a key? Key is str of semester number. Matter close. Or let me have a dictionary first. And you want this sem2 and sem number to be there. So you could, somebody may appear for 3 semesters as well. So we want a function that will take care of that. So I'll say sem marks, and it's a dictionary in which the key is, watch it what I'm doing, str of sem name, str of semester number semester number. Watch what I'm doing. Huh? If you don't understand anything, please ask. Sem plus str of semester number, that's my key. And list is the value. So this will create a key. And what is the key that you can create? Sem1, sem2, because you're going to pass semester number, correct? If the semester number is 1, it will become sem1. Semester number is 2, so it will become sem2. And the list is its list of marks. So once we have done that, here I'll say sem mark. Sem marks of, oh, since we need this, what I'll do is I'll take this out and I'll call this as sem number is equal to this. So that's easy. Here I'm going to pass semester is equal to sem of so. So semester, which is a string, is my key and list is this. So I'm going to say over here semester marks of semester dot append. So that gives me a list dot append int of marks, and subject counter equals subject counter plus 1. So your next subject is what you're going to write, and return student detail, return sem marks. Now tell me, have we fulfilled this requirement? Returns a dictionary containing semester number as a key. So my key is the semester number, and the list of subject marks as value. Okay, and if you don't want to say sem1, sem2, you could only pass the semester number. That was also perfectly all right. The key need not have in a string, it could have in the number. So I could just say is equal to directly as well. So why should I have to worry about same and same number? He pass kar sakte the. So I could say semester number. Semester number is a key and list is a value. That was also perfectly all right. And semester number and this, that's also okay. वहां प्रिंट करते हैं यूजर देखेगा नंबर 1 प्रिंट करना है या सेमेस्टर 1 लिखना है. तो a dictionary containing semester number as a key the semester number is a key and list of subject as values. So list of subject as values, कितने subjects, number of subjects उतने बार run करेगा. Is this taking care of us? Yes or no? बोलो everybody. देखो कोड की तरफ, जस्ट गिव योर ओपिनियन. हाँ नहीं, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ भी बोलो.
हाँ सर.
It's the same code that we had learned earlier, the design. Just that we are only looking at a part of that code now. And the
yes sir,
slight change
फिर
that we have done is we are no longer using key as a string, SEM2. Instead of using only 2, yeah, 1, 3. What will happen is user doesn't have to remember whether the key is semester 1, yeah, SEM1, yeah, S1, number 1, 2, 3. That's better. Last time it was only about 2 semesters. So we're very clear there are 2 semesters. We can use this function to add marks for any semester, 3rd semester, 4th semester, कितने भी semesters के लिए कर सकते हैं.
तो सर लाइन नंबर 45
हाँ.
सेम मार्क्स, ये हमने एक डिक्शनरी लिया है.
Where the semester number is a key and list of marks is a value.
ओके, सो जब हम अपेंड करते हैं तो ये लिस्ट में अपेंड हो रहा है. ये
List में append हो रहा है because when I say sem marks of semester number, it returns a list. Because in
बट
dictionary
सेमेस्टर
में
नंबर ये 1 है या 2 है, ये कैसे समझेगा?
जो भी यूजर ने पास किया रहेगा, हमें नहीं मालूम.
ओके
जो यूजर
ओके, ये वेरिएबल है सेमेस्टर. ओके ओके
डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट यूजर पासेस. यूजर
सर
ने 1
फिर
पास किया रहेगा तो सेमेस्टर 1 रहेगा. यूजर ने 2 पास किया रहेगा यहाँ लाइन नंबर 29 पे, तो ये 2 रहेगा.
ओके.
फिर आगे जाके वो जो स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स नाम की डिक्शनरी है,
स्टूडेंट क्या?
स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स नाम की जो डिक्शनरी है, मेन
हम्म।
डिक्शनरी जो है, तो हम लोग इसी को नेम एक की ले लेंगे और इसी को वैल्यू पास कर देंगे.
नहीं, look at this ना, पहले अभी don't worry about the entire thing. Just focus on, is this particular code that we have written justifies this particular requirement? ये जो अपना रिक्वायरमेंट था, क्या ये कोड वो रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल कर पा रहा है क्या? पूरे प्रोग्राम के बारे में सोचिए. डोंट थिंक अबाउट द एंटायर प्रोग्राम. इन द कंपनीज व्हेन यू गो, Shantanu, the projects that you work on, do you have end-to-end idea about the entire application?
सो बेसिकली सर, अगर कोई एक डेटा फ्लो है, मतलब कोई एक फ्लो हो रहा है.
नहीं, पूरा एप्लीकेशन जिस जहाँ डिप्लॉय करते हैं आप प्रोजेक्ट,
हाँ,
तो आपको प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में end-to-end पता होता है?
आर्किटेक्चर थोड़ा बहुत पता होता है, बट हर कोई
End-to-end पता होता है क्या? एवरी पार्ट
नहीं. वो तो सर हर किसी को, मतलब जो कॉन्फिडेंशियल है तो वो तो पता नहीं रहता है. बट हाँ, वर्किंग क्या है, मतलब डेटा फ्लो कैसे हो रहा है, वो तो पता रहता है. बट हाँ, कि हम पूरे इस पे काम नहीं करते हैं, पार्ट बाय पार्ट करते हैं.
पार्ट बाय पार्ट ही करते हैं. व्हाटएवर
Right.
करंट टास्क हैज बीन गिवन.
यस.
तो आज जो आप कह रहे थे, you had got some requirement, so were you worried about the other things or only that particular code that you are asked, the part section that you are asked to design?
सो हाँ, जो मुझे असाइन किया गया है, इट्स लाइक कि 2 एप्लीकेशन है, उसका मिडल एक ब्रिज बनाना है. सो इट्स लाइक कि 2 एप्लीकेशन अलग अलग चल रहे हैं, बस उस पे डिपेंडेंसी बनाना था मुझे.
So you're concerned with the entire workflow of both the application,
No.
or only to create the dependencies about it?
Yes, I was worried about the dependency.
Correct. So
Yes.
point that I'm trying to make is, you have a specific requirement given, so you have to fulfill that particular requirement. So here again, it's the same thing. When we're designing this particular function, we should worry only about that function, and then we'll see how that function fits into that bigger picture that we can
Right.
think about later.
Right.
So decompose किया है ना हमने function को, program को. तो when large applications are designed, it will so happen that many of the users may not even be aware the code that they're writing, the code snippet that they're writing, where it is going to be used. Only the architect knows about it.
Right. Yes.
तो आशीष, आप आगे की सोच रहे हो, करेक्ट, और मैं उस फंक्शन की बात कर रहा हूँ. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन यही था कि इज दिस फंक्शन फुलफिलिंग दिस रिक्वायरमेंट, आशीष?
यस सर.
वो कर रहा है तो छोड़ दो, बाकी क्या चिंता करनी, करेक्ट. तो आई एम गोना हाइड दैट कमेंट सो दैट सिंस वी हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड हाइड कर सकते कमेंट्स, so the code also doesn't appear to be okay. So one more requirement has now been taken care of. And minimum number of कौन से लिए max score लिया हमने, number of subjects we have. Oh, who will do the validation for this number of subjects? Okay, where we have accepted the number of subjects, not here. So we don't need some variables. Marks accept कर रहे, mark max score. Let's get deleted from here.
minimum
want to
number of
delete this?
subjects.
ये भी जरूरत नहीं है, ये भी उड़ा देते हैं. एंड मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स हमने कहीं तो यूज किया हुआ रहेगा पहले. गेट टोटल नंबर ऑफ
नहीं
स्टूडेंट्स.
सर, मार्क्स में यूज होगा.
अच्छा, वो फंक्शन डिस्कस नहीं किया हमने अभी तक. इसकी तो पक्का जरूरत नहीं है. Now that we had designed this function, let's come here. Get number of subjects. Did we design this? ये कर लिया हमने, ये
Yes,
डिस्कस
sir, ये
कर
हो
लिया
गया.
या नहीं?
हो गया.
तो इसमें डॉक्यूमेंटेशन कमेंट नहीं डाला हमने. Get number of subjects. I'll just say returns. The number of ये रिटर्न करता है. And let's hide this comment. हो चुका है. Okay. Now यह क्वेश्चन था एक्सेप्ट नेम एंड मार्क्स ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स, करेक्ट. तो हमें अभी आशीष जो आप कह रहे थे आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है वो हैंडल करनी. प्रिंटिंग विल सी लेटर. नाउ वी आर गोना एक्सेप्ट स्टूडेंट डिटेल. तो ये जो आप स्टूडेंट की डिटेल्स यहाँ एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हो, आपने एप्लीकेशन डिजाइनर को फोर्स किया है टू राइट दिस कोड. तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स यू कुड रिपीट इट, but all student details should have been stored in only one dictionary. So what we would rather do is, we would rather create a dictionary now and then accept the student details. So let's do it. There was too much of code that we have written over here. ये सारे कोड के लिए हम लोग फंक्शन बना सकते हैं. So how could we do that? So let's redesign. We'll think about printing later. Let's keep this thing aside. Printing के बारे में बाद में सोचते हैं. First, make sure we accept the data correctly. So what we are going to do? Total number of students. Get total number of students. Total number of students. कहाँ है function? Get total number of students. Okay, that was the first function that we had written. इसका भी comment hide कर देते हैं. So you get the total number of students. Then you run a loop for all the students. Perfect. And then I would not do these things. ये जो कर रहे हैं ये नहीं करूंगा मैं. Enter the details of student number so and so. I will take this, and then I'm going to accept the name of the student. Okay, we're going to accept the name of the student, and we would want to have a dictionary that is being created over there. Okay, that dictionary will have the name of the student, and dictionary of dictionaries is what we had decided. Okay, every semester marks. So how are we going to do that? Watch it. So we have a dictionary that I'll create. I'll first create an empty dictionary called as student details. Details is equal to empty dictionary. So dictionary is ready. In this dictionary, I'll store name as a key. But what would the value be? The value is going to be what are the design API I used earlier? Name was the key.
Sir,
And
marks was dictionary. Marks the dictionary.
SEM1 and SEM2 were in a list or in dictionary?
सर डिक्शनरी में था.
देखते हैं आपने पहले क्या क्या था हमने यहाँ. तो we had semester 1. Okay, SEM1 एक की था डिक्शनरी के अंदर. डिक्शनरी प्रिंटिंग है, एक्सेप्टिंग कहाँ है? Student detail was an empty dictionary. Okay. Okay, this was the design. Name and value was a dictionary containing these two as a keys. And ये उसके values. Okay, so that was the design. But we want to create a function which is flexible enough to handle any number of subjects. So our functions are ready now. Just that whatever number of subjects that the student number of semesters. Okay, in this case it is only 2 semesters. So we'll use the same thing. So I'll say student details. Of name is equal to one as a key and value. And 2 as a key. The 1 and 2 are semester numbers and the value. So we have created this. Now, once this has been created,
सर एक फंक्शन है जो ये रिटर्न कर
हाँ?
रहा है वैल्यू. वो वैल्यू है ना,
हाँ?
वो सेम मार्क्स करके एक फंक्शन रिटर्न कर रहा है. तो इधर ही एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स.
No. वो सेम मार्क्स में सेमेस्टर नंबर और लिस्ट दोनों रिटर्न कर रहा है, बराबर ना? ये
Yes.
दोनों आने वाला है, आपको इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं फिर हमें यहाँ. But my only concern is I want with one student multiple values to be associated. So that is the only concern that I have. Okay, that can be solved. Not an issue. So let's keep this thing aside. So we have this student details that is been created. That's an empty dictionary that is there. We ask you to enter the name of the student. And then for that student, what we'll do is we're accepting number of subjects. Okay. Get number of subjects. We have that function. What is the name of the function? Get number of get number of subject is a function that we have. So we are now accepting get number of subjects. So we get the number of subjects. Now I'll just keep this thing aside. Don't have to worry. Kitne bhi semester rehne do, we can handle as a programmer. But first we accepted number of subjects. Now for that subject, उस semester का score क्या है? तो we need to return a dictionary. So sem details is equal to, okay, sem details is equal to okay. I'll take one more variable here because I want my code to be generalized. So I say number of semesters import from typing import final. Currently, number of semesters are 2. Currently, but it could have been any number of semesters. But currently, number of semesters are 2. So you could, अरे क्या हो रहा है? Number of semesters are 2 currently. So we want to have a dictionary in which there will be 2 semesters whose details we would like to store. Okay. So what we'll do is, okay, number of semesters are 2. तो ये जो हमने बार-बार किया है ना, enter the details of the student number 1, name of the student accept कर लिया. I'll just get rid of this since we already have the code with us, so that it is easy for me to look at it. So for every student, whatever number of semesters are there, that many times that loop should run. So I'll say here for same counter in a range 1 to 3. Number of semester plus 1. Number of sem plus 1. That is just to take care of range. And now first we have accepted name of the student. Then we are saying enter the number of subjects. Number of subject is equal to get number of subjects. We got the number of subjects. But in which semester? So this question as to what are the get number of subjects, that I should accept it 2 times. So there are 2 semesters for which the student has to appear for. Total number of students, get total number of students है, student counter है, ये dictionary है, that I'll keep aside. Okay. So what we are doing is now we are going to run this loop, while loop. If there are 4 students, it will run 4 times. But for every student, this loop will run for whatever number of semesters that the student is appearing for. So every student is appearing for 2 semesters. So this will run 2 times. 2 times I have to ask him enter the number of subjects, because in both the semesters he may appear for different number of subjects. Now once we have accepted number of subject, I'll say sem score is equal to get या accept क्या था सेमेस्टर नंबर आपका ये है सेम काउंटर and number of subjects. So first student is appearing for 10 subjects in the first semester. तो ये पहले सेमेस्टर के मार्क्स उसके एक्सेप्ट कर लिया हमने. Likewise, he will be attempting for this will happen 2 times. So 2 बार ये होगा. Every time whatever sem that he has, the score that he gets, I would like to add it to this dictionary. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you add it to the dictionary? That's the only challenge. Sem score, this sem ka number hai. So what will I do is, the design over here was something like this. A key or A key for every name we had a dictionary, and sem 1 and sem 2 student counter with every name we had a dictionary. Okay, so that solves my problem. With every name we have a dictionary. The dictionary में हमें सिर्फ ऐड करना है. So what do I do? So I have a scores dictionary. पे sem score है. That is one dictionary that I get. And I take one more dictionary here. Watch it. I say score of student is equal to score of student is equal to, here I'll have the semester counter. Sem counter is a key. Hey, why do I need that?
सर सीधा स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स नेम की लेके सेल स्कोर वैल्यू दे दीजिए।
एक्सेप्ट सेमिस्टर मार्क्स क्या देगा हमें? एक डिक्शनरी देगा।
यस सर,
उस डिक्शनरी में क्या है हमारे पास? सेमिस्टर नंबर
सेमेस्टर नंबर और उसके
मार्क्स है।
मार्क्स।
तो
तो
वो
सर
हमें,
सेमिस्टर नंबर से उसकी करस्पॉन्डिंग लिस्ट को हम पास कर सकते हैं ना?
तो वो तो दे रहा है हमें, सेमिस्टर नंबर और मार्क्स दोनों मिल रहे हैं।
वही स्टोर वैल्यू स्टोर कर लेना नेम के की में।
नहीं, ये एक्सेप्ट फॉर द सेमिस्टर नंबर था। एक काम कर सकते हैं, इसमें सेमिस्टर नंबर की जगह सिर्फ लिस्ट ऑफ मार्क्स रिटर्न करेंगे ना, देन दैट इज इजी। यहाँ सेमिस्टर नंबर और मार्क्स दोनों आ रहा है, दैट एंटायर डिक्शनरी हैज बीन रिटर्न। तो उस डिक्शनरी का करे क्या हम लोग? उस डिक्शनरी को, तो वी आर गेटिंग दिस डिक्शनरी, ये जो है डिजाइन, ये पूरी डिक्शनरी मिल रही है आपको।
हाँ तो
dictionary-
सर फिर ये
ये
पहले
dictionary-
चेक करना है।
हाँ,
सिर्फ इसको की नेम वाले की को असाइन करना है ना डिक्शनरी।
नेम वाले की में you cannot append the element to a dictionary, multiple elements to the same dictionary. With every name is associated a key, and this key was a dictionary. तो
Yes.
डिक्शनरी में एक ऐड किया, दूसरा ऐड करूं, तो एक काम करते हैं, लिस्ट ऑफ डिक्शनरी देते हैं, सो दैट प्रॉब्लम विल बी टेकन केयर ऑफ। कैसे करते हैं? ये जो है सेम मार्क्स इज इक्वल टू, सेम मार्क्स नहीं कहा था हम लोग, यहाँ स्टूडेंट डिटेल था, ये स्कोर ऑफ द स्टूडेंट जो है, ये डिक्शनरी है समझो। तो इस डिक्शनरी में की क्या है? स्कोर ऑफ द स्टूडेंट में एक तो है सेमिस्टर नंबर और दूसरा है उसके मार्क्स। तो एक्सेप्ट स्टूडेंट मार्क्स में से डिक्शनरी रिटर्न करने की जगह विल रिटर्न अ लिस्ट। तो ये जो सेमिस्टर नंबर रहेगा वो हम लोग यहाँ ऐड कर सकते हैं। तो हियर वी विल ओनली क्रिएट अ लिस्ट। तो मार्क्स की एक लिस्ट लेते सिर्फ अपेंड करते हैं। मार्क्स रिटर्न करते सिर्फ, ये मार्क्स है तो ये सेम मार्क्स डॉट अपेंड। रिटर्न्स लिस्ट कहते हैं, रिटर्न्स अ लिस्ट containing the a list containing the subject marks, containing the list containing the marks of the semester, marks containing the marks in the तो इस सेमेस्टर का फायदा नहीं है, तो एक्सेप्ट सेम मार्क्स है, तो यहाँ कोई प्लीज एंटर मार्क्स इन सेमेस्टर सब्जेक्ट नंबर है, तो वी डोंट नीड दिस सेमेस्टर नंबर है, only number of subjects is what we need. If it's going to written list, a list containing marks in semester. That's it. तो यहाँ से ये लिस्ट रिटर्न करेंगे सेम मार्क्स. तो इफ आई रिटर्न दिस लिस्ट, तो यहाँ आसान हो जाएगा अभी. तो हम कहेंगे ये जो हमारा डिक्शनरी है, स्कोर ऑफ द स्टूडेंट इन विच सेमेस्टर काउंटर इज अ की एंड वैल्यू इज द लिस्ट. ठीक है, वैल्यू इसको. तो सेकेंड पास में क्या होगा, सेम स्कोर स्टूडेंट में ये आ जाएगा और उसकी लिस्ट आ जाएगी. एंड वंस यू आर डन दैट, वंस यू कम आउट ऑफ दिस लूप, तो एक स्टूडेंट रेडी हो गया है, तो वो जाएगा स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स में. एंड इन द स्टूडेंट डिटेल नाउ, इन द स्टूडेंट डिटेल, लुक एट द डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कैसे आप डिजाइन कर रहे हैं. आई विल पिक्टोरियली आल्सो शो यू व्हाट इज द डिजाइन. Here goes the name of the student, and value is this score of students. And student count is equal to student count plus 1. Why do I do this? I will take a for loop. I say, so I don't have to worry about incrementing the student counter. It will automatically get incremented. And for every student that we have whose name we have accepted, we are saying उस student के लिए ये score of the student is being added. तो score of student क्या है? It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary containing, okay, the semester number as a key and score as a value. Okay, dictionary containing semester number as a key and list of scores as a value. So I'll just say over here, it containing semester number as key and list of marks as values. Just to help you understand क्या कर. So score of the student in the given semester, student score of student in the given semester, suppose. Okay, same score of student ऐसे लिखते हैं. सेमेस्टर का स्कोर, एक सेमेस्टर का स्कोर, तो जितने सेमेस्टर हो जाएंगे उन सेमेस्टर का स्कोर. So the same score is nothing but a list. ये लिस्ट है, and this is a dictionary. ये उस सेम का स्कोर है, तो सेम स्कोर of a student in that given semester is this score. I'll call this as mark list suppose. वो स्कोर बहुत हो रहा है.
सर उसको एक ही आर्गुमेंट चाहिए.
Pardon?
मार्क लिस्ट को एक ही आर्गुमेंट चाहिए.
Mark list?
एक ही आर्गुमेंट चाहिए. हमने दो दिए. सेम काउंटर की जरूरत नहीं.
Come again, come again.
सर मार्क लिस्ट है ना. हाँ, सेम काउंटर नहीं.
Okay. Now that we accepted it, so what Monica was saying, name of the student is also being accepted, and with every student we have this dictionary which contains semester number as a key and list of marks as value. ये dictionary है, तो वो ऐड हो गया. ये एरर क्यों दे रहा है? स्कोर ऑफ स्टूडेंट के नाम की कोई चूज नहीं है। स्कोर ऑफ स्टूडेंट नहीं, अभी क्या था ये? सेम स्कोर ऑफ स्टूडेंट। So for every student, it will run once, get the same score that will be added to this, and next time when we go out, it's a new dictionary that will get created. This has been already added. Now time है ये print करने का student detail. So we come to this function print student detail. Here we come. आ गया print student detail. यहाँ आते हैं and the details of the students are as follows. While true की अभी हमें number of मालूम है. I don't want infinite loop over here, Ashish. अच्छा, you're gonna ask the name of the student. Okay, please enter the name of the student. And if name in student details, okay, इस डिक्शनरी में अगर नाम है तो प्रिंट सेमेस्टर 1 सेमेस्टर 2 नहीं, जितने सेमेस्टर रहेंगे सारे, तो ये नहीं चलेगा। जितने सेमेस्टर है सबके डिटेल्स प्रिंट करने। इफ नेम इज फाउंड, नहीं फाउंड तो स्टूडेंट नॉट फाउंड। डू यू वांट टू ऐड एनी मोर डिटेल्स? ब्रेक। इफ विश इज नॉट इन यस और नो, ब्रेक। ये ठीक है। और यहाँ से रिटर्न। ओके, रिटर्न नहीं लिखोगे तो इट्स इम्प्लिसिट, यू नीड नॉट राइट रिटर्न, इट इम्प्लिसिटली रिटर्न्स। हियर वी गो। अब यहाँ पूछा आपने नेम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट। इफ नेम इन स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स, इफ द नेम इज देयर इनसाइड दिस, ओके, if the name is found, yeah, ICQRI color, anyway. If the name of the student is found in the dictionary, then we are going to print his details. Okay, so how do you do that? So it was not about printing data, it was about get student details. Print student details. You're not going to print all the data, you're going to print details of the student whose name you are going to give. Let's say print student details. So this function is print student details. It takes a dictionary as its argument, returns nothing. It returns nothing. Here the details of the student. कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. You write a loop. You are going to say, please enter the student name to fetch his marks. To fetch his scores, the performance. Name in student detail. If it is not found, student not found. Do you wish to fetch details of any more student? Yes, no, ये सब कुछ ठीक है. अब यहाँ अपना लॉजिक आएगा. If name in student detail, the name is found, then that student's detail we'd like to fetch, but that in 2 different semesters. So how do you do that? Our data structure कैसा है? Student detail कैसा है? We'll just put it diagrammatically. Student detail details is a dictionary where name is a key and value is a dictionary containing the semester number as a key and marks as a list. Marks as a list. And whatever number of semesters that he may have appeared for. Whatever number of semesters that he may have appeared for. That will just keep on repeating. So we need to know how many elements are present inside the dictionary. So if name is found in the dictionary, first we'll find out length of this dictionary. So I know to know how many elements are there inside that dictionary. So if I have a dictionary, D is equal to DICT, yeah, D is equal to dictionary, and I create a dictionary saying 1:1, suppose 1:Ashish. comma 2 colon one comma 3 colon अगर ये डिक्शनरी में 3 आइटम्स है, if I say length of B, it tells me 3 items. तो मुझे पता है इस डिक्शनरी में कितने आइटम्स है. तो the good part of this particular program is you will be in a position to accept details for any number of semesters. So whatever number of semesters that the student is appearing for, we would like to work on it. I'll say for sem counter in a range 1 to length of जो स्टूडेंट मिला है उसका लेंथ. That means how many semesters that is appearing for. Then for every semester score, we would like to print. First semester, second semester, whatever the semesters. So how do you print that? We'll write over here, print. Performance in semester number. Same counter. क्या है? एक पूरी लिस्ट एक साथ प्रिंट करनी है, that's also possible. I could just say let's print on separate line. We put a tab. After tab, we'll print the details. That is student details, student counter में student details. Watch it. ये आपको डिजाइन समझ में आना चाहिए. Of name जो था उस स्टूडेंट का given सेमेस्टर के अंदर के मार्क्स. नेम काउंटर खत्म. स्टूडेंट डिटेल में से नेम एंड उस नेम का स्टूडेंट सेमेस्टर काउंटर. सेमेस्टर काउंटर 1 है तो फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर का, 2 है तो 2 सेमेस्टर का, 3 है तो 3rd सेमेस्टर का. खत्म. That's done. And now this program is such that you may appear for 3 semesters, 4 semesters, you change it here on line number 98, and that's flexible enough to handle details of the students. So else क्या हुआ यहाँ? Indentation match नहीं हो रहा है. Else student not found. So this will print his details for both the semesters. After the details have been printed for both the semesters, we'll print a blank line. Just a blank line. It's just a blank line. Blank line, nothing else. So here we go. So let's run the code and see now. It's too much of thing that we have done. So we have asked enter the number of students. I say there are only 2 students. Enter the details of the student number 1. Name of the student, पहले student का नाम राजा है. How many subject student appears in this semester? अच्छा यार semester number print करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, but we'll make that change. क्या कह रहा है? How many subject the student appears in this semester? So where did we ask this question? Let's make the change right away. Here. So get number of subjects दिया हमने. And there is where we are asking the question, how many subjects that the student appears in this semester, I think. how many subjects student appears in this semester. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll write over here.
हम काउंटर पास करके आर्गुमेंट प्रिंट करवा लेंगे.
No, semester number 1. And this is semester number. है ना हमारे पास सेमेस्टर काउंटर में तो मैसेज आएगा सेमेस्टर नंबर कौन सा है. So let's do that. Since that message was slightly confusing, we have made a change. अब देखते हैं कैसे चलता है. Enter the number of students. I say there are 2 students. Enter the details of student number 1. Enter the name of student. मैंने कहा ये राजा है. इस सेम काउंटर क्या गलत हुआ? सेम काउंटर.
F-string,
अच्छा
F-string.
F-string लिखना भूल गया. देखो refactoring is the thing that we have to work with. So indentation अभी enter the number of students. मैंने दोबारा कहा 2 students. Enter details of student number 1. Enter the name of student. I say Raja once again. Semester number 1. Yeah, we could have given a tag. How many subjects that the student appears in this semester? I say this semester the student appears for 6 subjects. Enter marks in subject number 1. Okay, I should put a colon after that. So let's make a change over here. How many subjects the student appears in this semester?
सर वो एक्सेप्ट मार्क्स में होगा.
हाँ, marks में है क्या? Here we go. I should rather put this away like this, and here I should put a colon. Now it's more about beautification that we are. Enter the number of students. I say 2. Four students from the Raja. Semester number 1. How many subjects does the student appear in this semester? He appears for 6 subjects. We could have just given one space over there. Enter the marks in subject number 1. I say 34, 12. R, it says no. Subject number 3, 45, 56, 33, 22. Okay, 6 marks. How many semester number 2? देखो heading आ रहा है. I could have printed a line over here, gap दे देते. Semester number 2. How many subjects does the student appears in the second semester? He appears for only for 5 subjects. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Details of student number 2. इसका नाम क्या है? रानी है. How many subjects does he appear in the first semester? 8 subjects. 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. Yeah, I said Didiya to no, out of 100 marks. So 15 के बाद suppose 16, 17 and 18. 34 he marks it. Sem 2 में she appears only for 5 subjects. 3, 4, 5. Whose details you would like to have? मैंने कहा भाई राजा के detail चाहिए. Performance in semester number 1 ये आ गया. Semester number 2 नहीं हो गया. Okay, we'll check. Do you want to continue? Yes. Whose score? मैंने कहा भाई रानी का detail चाहिए. Performance in semester number 1. अच्छा 2 semester का नहीं. Do you want to continue? No. तो हमने एक ही semester का performance दे दिया. क्या बात है? Print. length of student detail of name. अच्छा, उसके आगे एक ही डिक्शनरी है.
नहीं सर, +1 होगा ना.
हाँ, +1 होगा. वेरी करेक्ट. Because 2 आ रहा है, but 1 to 2 will be only give you what is this becomes too bigger. तो यहाँ देते हैं number of semesters, number of sems is equal to, just to improve the readability, the expression is too big. I just write over here length of student details of, ये आ गया number of semesters and 1 comma number of sems plus 1. देखो ये लॉजिकल मिस्टेक था. Number of sem plus 1. कुछ ऐसे. ओके, और क्या चेंजेस थे? एंटर मार्क्स जहाँ थे वहाँ ब्लैंक स्पेस छोड़ना था. गेट सब्जेक्ट नंबर, एड योर मार्क्स. यहाँ एक क्या बात तो अच्छा रहेगा. We have made some small changes and let's do it. Yeah, enter the name of the student. अरे यार स्पेस देना भूल गया दोबारा. कहाँ था? enter the name of the student. कहाँ क्या लिया हमने? Number of students. Enter details of student number. ये changes करना था. Details of student number. Number 1 एक हो गया. यहाँ है ऐसे space. This is better. Enter the number of students. मैंने कहा भाई 2 students है. Enter details of student number 1. Name क्या उसका? राजा है. हाँ, एक गैप भी आ गया. Semester number 1. How many subjects does the student appear in this semester? He appears for 5 subjects. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Semester number 2. How many subjects happen in second semester? 6. And that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 0. Okay. Enter details of student number 2. यहाँ भी एक लाइन देना चाहिए था. Okay, we'll do that. And then enter details of student number 2. Name क्या है? Rani. Semester number 1. How many subjects that the student appeared in this semester? कितने? How many subjects? He appears for 5 subjects. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Semester number 2, he is appearing for 7 subjects. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 77, 77, 77. Which details you would like to fetch? And if Raja के details दे दो. आगे performance in semester 1 and performance in semester 2. You want to get rid of the bracket? That's also possible. You want to continue? Yes. Rani. ये आ गया performance in semester number 1 and performance in semester number 2. Continue करना है क्या? नहीं, यहाँ एक issue है. Continue. हाँ, राजा का डिटेल जाओ तो वो स्टूडेंट नॉट फाउंड, बल्कि राजा है. तो स्टोर करते समय हमें उसका नाम है ना कैपिटल में स्टोर कर देते हैं, तो दैट वुड हैव बीन बेटर. व्हाइल सर्चिंग आल्सो विल सर्च इन कैपिटल. कहा गया है स्टूडेंट के डिटेल स्टोर कर देते हैं हम लोग. नेम डॉट अपर, या कैसे भी स्टोर किया हो या अपर में ही स्टोर कर देते हैं. ओके, तो व्हाइल सर्चिंग हियर जो भी नेम आएगा फॉर नेम ऑफ द नेम इन नेम डॉट अपर इन स्टूडेंट, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट में नेम अपर केस में लिखा है. ओके, तो एक ही केस में रहेगा. आपने स्मॉल केस में लिखा तो भी वही लेगा वो. प्लस सेमेस्टर 1 और सेमेस्टर 2 के बीच में गैप चाहिए. सेमेस्टर नंबर 2 में गैप आ रहा है. कहाँ गैप नहीं आया ना? तो ये तो गैप नहीं आया था स्टूडेंट नंबर 2 में. सेमेस्टर नंबर ये है, एंट्री डिटेल्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट नंबर. So after we finish with this entire work, we should print एक blank line छोड़ देते हैं, blank line. And plus आपको उसका टोटल, हाँ, 2-3 चीजें करनी थी. आपको उसका परसेंटाइल भी प्रिंट करना था. तो 2 things we like to do. परसेंटाइल भी प्रिंट करना है, प्रिंट स्टूडेंट डिटेल. तो let's put a star mark over here. उसका परसेंटाइल परफॉर्मेंस इन सेमेस्टर नंबर 1 स्टूडेंट डिटेल्स ये आ गया. उसका टोटल मार्क्स प्रिंट करना है. टोटल मार्क्स इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ ये टोटल मार्क्स डिवाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स. वो नंबर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट कहाँ से आएगा? लेंथ ऑफ दिस. ये जो लिस्ट है इसका लेंथ क्या है? अब उसे प्रिंट करेंगे. Total marks is equal to total marks slash t percentage is equal to percentage marks. If you can write this code now, you are a good programmer. ये और इसके आगे परसेंट साइन चाहिए, तो just put 2%. I think that's done. Let's check it out. So enter the number of students. इस बार मैं कहता हूँ मेरे पास 3 students हैं. Enter the name of the student. The name of the student is suppose आशीष है. Semester 1 के marks, number how many subjects in first semester? He appears for 5 subjects in the first semester. Marks in first semester 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are his marks. Semester 2, how many subjects does he appear for? He appears for 6 subjects. His marks are 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, 6. Enter details of student number 2. That's Monica. How many subjects she appears in the first semester? She also appears for 5 subjects in the first semester. Her marks in first semester are 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Semester 2, how many subjects she appears? She appears for 6 subjects, and that is 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 0, 0, and 1, 1. Third student is here. If you could give one gap, like anyway. Shanturam hai. And how many subjects has the student appeared in this semester? Again, 5. His marks are 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And second semester he is appearing for 7 subjects. That is 77, 7, 77, 7, 77, 7, and 77. Whose details you would like to have? Monica? क्या गलत हो गया? Number of the length of student detail of name. Key error Monica. It did not find Monica. तो मैंने अपर नहीं पास किया, क्या फाइंड करते हैं?
नहीं सर,
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
नेम पास किया.
क्या ना अपर? हर जगह होगा फिर होगा, यानी मुझे ऐसे करना होगा यार,
नेम इक्वल्स
नेम इज इक्वल टू नेम डॉट अपर, फिर मुझे आगे अपर करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। अरे यार अभी वापस को एंटर करेंगे मेरे डिटेल्स, बट वी डोंट हैव अ चॉइस, यू शुडंट गिव अप एज अ डेवलपर। इस बार नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट एक ही लेता हूँ, तो 2 तो लेते हैं। अपना फेवरेट राजा है, उसके हमें सब्जेक्ट 5 सेमेस्टर सब्जेक्ट 1 2 3 4 5 सब्जेक्ट, सेमेस्टर 2 5 सब्जेक्ट्स 5 6 7 8 9। सेकंड स्टूडेंट Rani, how many subjects that has a student appear in this semester? 5. That is 7, 8, 9, 6 and 5. Semester 2, 5 subjects, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. Whose details you would like to have? मैंने कहा भाई मुझे रानी के डिटेल चाहिए। आगे परफॉर्मेंस इन सेमेस्टर 1 ये टोटल मार्क्स 35, परसेंटेज 7.0। परफॉर्मेंस इन सेमेस्टर 2 ये आपके टोटल मार्क्स है, मार्क्स है टोटल 275, परसेंटेज 55 अच्छा 1% चाहिए था, 2% नहीं हो गया। एंड देन उस यू वांट टू डू मोर, यस मैंने कहा भी उसके चाहिए, राजा के चाहिए, आर ए जे ए राजा, ये आगे राजा की डिटेल्स, सिर्फ वो 2% निकाल के 1% लेते हैं, दैट्स वन थिंग। राउंड अप करके प्रिंट कर लेते बिकॉज समबडीज मार्क्स में कम इन फ्रैक्शन, तो आई डू नॉट वांट 3.3333 ऐसे नहीं चाहिए हमें। तो डू यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू? नो। तो वी जस्ट हैव टू डू अ स्मॉल चेंजेस। कहाँ का चेंज करने, एक तो 2% नहीं प्रिंट करना है, सिंगल परसेंट आ गया, एक सिंगल परसेंट। सेकेंड, when you are displaying percentage marks over here, format चाहिए कोलन पॉइंट कोलन 0.2 ओनली 2 डिजिट प्रिसेंस पे प्रिंट करना है, 2 ही डिजिट आफ्टर डेसिमल पॉइंट चाहिए। और क्या करना है चेंज, subject number, enter the marks in subject number, get number of subjects, accept marks, enter the marks in subject number। ये यहाँ एक स्पेस आ जाए तो बढ़िया है, that's one small thing। and ये जो मार्क्स प्रिंट कर रहे हैं हम लोग, वो अगर थोड़ा सा टैब डाल के प्रिंट करते तो दैट विल बेटर। परफॉर्मेंस इन सेमेस्टर सो एंड सो, परफॉर्मेंस यहाँ भी टैब डाल देते हैं टैब, एंड क्यों ना उसके आगे ही मार्क्स प्रिंट करें, सेमेस्टर 1 के आगे। तो here in semester counter so and so, and I could just say here comma sep is equal to blank, sep नहीं end is equal to blank, ताकि what would happen is ये जो मार्क्स नेक्स्ट लाइन पे प्रिंट हो रहे हैं ना, वो इसी लाइन पे प्रिंट हो जाएंगे। दैट्स वन स्मॉल चेंज दैट वी कुड डू। परफॉर्मेंस यहाँ टैब हटा देते हैं, ये हटा देते हैं, एंड ये जो है ना परफॉर्मेंस एंड टोटल मार्क्स, ये पूरा आगे टैप करके प्रिंट करते हैं फॉर दैट राजा। वैसा कर सकते हैं, परफॉर्मेंस तो आ गया, ये भी उसके आगे आ जाएगा, टोटल मार्क्स में भी टैप कर देते हैं, सो दिस विल लुक बेटर। Okay, let's run the code once again. I'll do it only for one student. Please enter number of student। मैंने कहा भाई एक ही बंदा है, नेम क्या है, राजा है। Semester number 1, how many subjects does he appear in semester number in this semester? He appears for 5 subjects, 5 5 5 5 7. Semester number 2, 7 subjects, 7 7 7 7 7 9 and 9. Whose details you would like to have? Please enter student details। तो राजा के डिटेल चाहिए ऑब्वियसली, ये ठीक है, ऐसा आ रहा है। परफॉर्मेंस इन सेमेस्टर नंबर 1 ये टोटल मार्क्स इतने, परसेंटेज इतने। परफॉर्मेंस सेमेस्टर नंबर 2 यहाँ स्पेस दे सकते थोड़ा सा, मार्क्स आ गया देखो, राउंड अप कर लिया ओनली अप टू 2 डिजिट प्रिसीजन। तो ओनली चेंज दैट वी कैन डू इज यहाँ एक स्पेस दे दे या ये स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट निकाल देते हैं, वैसे भी कर सकते थे। तो वी विल स्टॉप, वी विल कम आउट एंड कहा गए यहाँ एक स्पेस दे सकते हैं। I think this is quite a bit of code that we have written. So look at decomposition and see if we can decompose it any further, which और कर सकते हैं क्या। I think we should write a function for this as well. So वो थोड़ा सा add करो. But otherwise, it's a quite an improved code over where we started. And आशीष जो लेकर आए थे और आप अभी जो हम जिस लेवल पे पहुंचे हैं, so there is quite an improvement that has happened. तो reusable functions है हमारे पास. So get number of subject, 2 subject semester के लिए था. तो ये 2 बार हम लोग इस function को call कर रहे हैं for every student since number of semesters are 2. Accept same marks, एक ही function है. किसी भी semester के marks accept करने तो same function we are calling. We are not having multiple functions. So that's how we could design this particular code. क्या कहते हो? You really understand all the things we did. डाउट है या कंफ्यूजन है?
नहीं सर, ज्यादा हो गया आज।
ज्यादा हो गया, वो तो होना ही था. But there's a difference between a correct code and correctly designed code. तो कल मैंने जो कहा था ना, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है अपने इसका, तो ऑब्जेक्टिव हमें याद रखना है. We have to write codes whose designs are also very good. So we are now moving towards improving the style of code that we, the kind of code that we write, clean code, readable code. We are doing refactoring. तो सोचिए जरा इस कोड की तरफ देखिएगा. Whatever new cosmetic changes you can do, some validation if you have missed out, also introduce that. And we meet tomorrow again. Okay. And कल के लिए कुछ असाइनमेंट नहीं है. कल के लिए यही कोड पढ़ के आओ, समझ के आओ. उसमें डाउट्स रहेंगे तो we'll discuss. This is not important as to how many codes you write. How we write that code is also equally important. And that is what we are trying to focus on. I hope you have understood.
वो इंस्टेंस वगैरह रह गया,
Louder?
वो वैलिडेशन इनपुट लेने के
Validation,
बाद.
parameters का validation बाकी है.
हाँ,
correct?
yes,
तो करो. Because function को कॉल करने पर पैरामीटर्स आपने सही नहीं पास किया रहेगा तो मैंने कहा ना, एक रिवीजन में तो होता नहीं है, तो इसे रिवाइज करो. Let's try and have a perfect code that is designed. हाँ, at least on basis of whatever we have understood. Look, now we did all this thing and we forgot about input validation. Data function को call करने पर we had discussed that. How can we assume that the function is being passed the right data? So those validations also to be done. But then these validations can be used. So एक function लिखो, check if it is number or something like that, and then try and call that. So I would want you to again work on the same function program, try and redesign, and come ready for tomorrow's session. देखो समझो, उसमें कुछ changes कर पाए तो करो, लिख के आओ, so that we can discuss ये करना जरूरी था या नहीं था. That we can do. Okay. Monica, have you understood? Monica, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I could hear you.
Yes.
So go through that code, all of you, and come prepared tomorrow at the same time. Okay. So I have shared the file with you. Monica, please share this particular file on the portal, on the WhatsApp group as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you all for attending the session. See you tomorrow at same time. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.